Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. Can you see my reflection? Now, I'm waiting here for the air to bleed out. You know you always bleed that air out. I'm here at this undisclosed location. Do you ever feel like you're being watched? Yeah, there's cameras all around you. Always, but yeah. I just realized how good I match. Blue hard hat, blue shirt, brand new overalls. How do you like that? I guess Carhartt doesn't sell these bibs. These bibs are hard to come by. So if you see any of these bibs, pick them up. I might have to choose different brand of overalls because they used to sew these on here, but now there's just a separate belt. But anyway, here comes that water. You can hear the air coming out. Now it's just a waiting game. You know, this is a pretty big building. You got this side and that side, but anyway, if you see some of these Carhartt overalls with the belt, a lot of guys have the belt sewed into them. They take it to like a sailing shop or somebody that has a heavy duty sewing machine and they sew the belt on. Okay, well, I thought I would show you some water, but it is taking too long. So a man can only stall so long. So I'm stalling. And as soon as I stall, look what I see, or I hear. Come on, baby, I heard you. I stalled long enough. Come on, 3, 2, look at that. I hear air getting out of the system. So a little bit of water, followed by a lot of air, with a little bit of water, with a lot of air. You see what's happening is that fire sprinkler system's filling up the main. Then it's filling up the riser nipples. Then it's filling up the branch lines. And at the end of that branch line is an inspector's test, hopefully. It gets rid of that air at the high point. So that's what I got. I got the high point. So by the time I walk inside this building, I'll be able to look out this window, by the way. And I'll see that it's all bled down. All right, enough stalling out of me. It looks like this tree needed some water anyway. Look at all these trees. Yeah, this one was a little dry. So I'm actually gonna let all that air bleed out and feed that tree. All right. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these bleeding the inspector's test air out adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we're good. We are good. Okay, it's always apparent that no matter how easy this 5-year goes, the building looks great, but there's always something. Look at, I'm coming over here to check my work, and look at the flow switch is leaking. So the whole building is good, but this has been leaking before. You can see there's been rust there. So I'm gonna have to get a rag or something. Damage him, always something. This apparent system has about 100 pounds on it, and it's still, flow sip is dripping 1001 every second. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, yeah. Well, it is apparent. There is my fix. I put some tape around the flow switch so that the water, when it drips, won't hit that valve and gauge, because it was hitting right there on that flange. But now I got it going into this bucket. So I will have to get a new flow switch system sensor. Yeah, this brand right here. System sensor. 6-inch by whatever hole that is. 1.5 hole or whatever it is. But that should work for now. A little drip, and you can hear it go into the bucket. So every couple seconds. So if you think fire sprinklers just turning valves, and it's always something. So this system fails. I don't like to fail people, but when stuff is dripping, you can't pass it. Can you? Just one last thing on this bad flow switch. You can see by this rust that this thing had been dripping before, but nobody has addressed it. So this needs to be addressed. Okay, system's been on for about an hour. So I'm just timing this. Ready? 1001, 1002. 1001, 1002, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007. Okay, I got it about every 2.5 seconds. So, and that's how much water I've got so far. Not much, but 24 hours worth, this will be probably full. Well, it is apparent. It's been about 2 hours, and that's how much water I got in there. And I kind of rigged it up with some 90s underneath there with a nipple to keep the bucket tilted. So this bad flow switch will have to be addressed. I'm just lucky the water is just barely making it by that. I should turn that a little more, but yeah, it's making it by there. But I'm going to empty this before I go, and we'll be back, or not. Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. I'm back with a new flow switch to fix that, and you can see that the dripping has stopped, almost. So there you go. You got about a little bit of a bucket. So all that worrying, I thought that bucket would be full, but that thing is pretty much stopped. But we're gonna replace it anyway. One last look at this flow switch before I change it out. You can see all that crystallization of that white stuff there. That's because it was leaking all this time. And whoever works on it is just gonna have a drippy flow switch unless I change it. So do it right the first time, or second. Okay, you know the rule, bleed all the air out when you can. And like I said yesterday, this tree was a little dead, so we're gonna give it a little extra bleeding of the air. Let's go get to work, or go look at our work. Well, howdy ho, good neighbors. Let's take a look at our flow switch. We just filled it up, and you can hear the water is climbing. We got about 100 pounds here. So We're looking about 75 now, and it's climbing. You can see that gauge slowly going up. You can hear the water going in here. Always a little scary. So there's the top gauge, there's the bottom gauge, but here's what we're looking at. Is a brand new flow switch. And the thing about these flow switches is they got to be the same brand, or the hole's a different size. See that hole right there? Yeah, that's a different size if you use a different brand. So it looks like the water's full, 100 pounds almost. And this thing is completely dry. You always run your hand like that and look at your hand. If there's any water, it's gonna shine on your hand. So we're dry, we're good. And on these flow switches, you have a dial right here to dial them in, how many seconds you want. We like about 45 seconds. So that means water's gonna flow through here for 45 seconds, and then the fire department will be activated or notified. So if there's a surge of water, it's not gonna notify them. But if it goes off for a while, 45 seconds or so, not over 90 seconds, then you'll have to adjust that. Okay, well there you go. We're all full. And we got a new flow switch. Oh, that's what I was gonna tell you. You gotta have the same brand. You see system sensor? That was the old one. Well, it took me a minute to figure this out, but Safe Signal, they bought out system sensor. So if you're changing out a system sensor flow switch, you need to ask for a Safe Signal flow switch. It's either that or Potter. Potter's the other brand. Now, it's just time to tag it with your 5-year and call this one good. That's why it failed, just one flow switch. All the rest of it is good. And if you ever want to see what making robots looks like, well, they're making robots in there. Someday there will be robots making robots. Well, as always, I want to thank you for coming along with me on these bad flow switch leaking adventures. Boy, was it an adventure. Yeah. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.